Subjunctive form is a lot easier than it looks, and it's a lot easier than it sounds. But when do you use it? You may wish to use subjunctive form if you're expressing a wish, a command, or some hopes or suggestions. Here's some examples where I'm going to complete some sentences using subjunctive form. Let's start with some examples where we use subjunctive form to talk about suggestions. We suggest that you something your times tables. Well, you need to learn them, don't you? We suggest that you learn your times tables. And the second one, I suggest that you something up to the challenge. Oh, I suggest that you face up to the challenge. So if you think about it, you're using a present tense verb here, after a suggestion. Let's try these demands. So if you're demanding something, you want something to happen in the future. So you'd normally need to use a future tense, but with subjunctive, you don't. So here we go. I demand that you something to meeting today. You want somebody to come to it, don't you? You want them to attend. I demand that you attend the meeting today. And the second one, I demand that the votes something counted again. Well, they have to be counted, don't they? And actually, it's as simple as that. I demand that the votes be counted again. Again, present tense verbs after a demand, even though we want something to happen in the future. And here we have the most common example of subjunctive form. This is where you're showing a hope for the future, a wish. It's kind of like you're imagining a perfect world. So for the first one, if I something king for a day, nobody would have to work. If I were king for a day, nobody would have to work. And the second one, if I something you, I'd take the deal. Well, actually, we're going to use were again. If I were you, I'd take the deal. This is when you're more likely to use subjunctive, when you're showing a hope for the future. So if I were king, if I were you, if I were in charge of the school, if I were a butterfly, I would fly off to a different land. That's how you use subjunctive form.